Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. I didn't get to speak to you for either one of those. I made the last video right before Christmas and I thought I was gonna film a little bit more and then I just got too crazy. How's everybody doing? Today we're gonna be, where can I set this? Right here works. Today we're gonna be taking a look at what is in my camera bag, my brand new camera bag, moving into 2023. And as a bonus, we're also gonna be talking about a few things that I use that's in my studio that might not exactly fit inside my camera bag. So first up, let's start with the bag itself. This is the brand new, just released PGYTECH One Go, One Mo, One for Show. This is the One Mo 2. I don't know why PGYTECH insist on spelling things so that I have to pronounce them like a wannabe rapper in the early 90s. One Mo, but it's still a fantastic camera bag, fantastic. Before this, I was rocking the One Mo Lite, and then before that was the One Go 2. And the One Mo 2 is definitely my favorite of the bunch. This is a great camera bag. We have side access, which I use all the time. I have my camera and lens right there with the grip on the same side as the opening, so I could just reach in and grab it fast if I need to. And in that same side access zipper, you also have a little battery compartment with elastic holders. The One Go had these little magnetic pieces, which were cool, but this bag has these little switches so you can remember which batteries are dead and which ones are full. When I shoot weddings and I'm swapping out batteries throughout the day, that actually really comes in handy. The straps have this really great soft jelly-like material inside, and the back piece is really nice and soft also. PGYTECH has always been really great with making their camera bags really comfortable. Also, there's these pull tabs right here, which I'm not sure if I've ever seen on a camera bag before. I'm not like a camera bag expert. I have a lot of bags in my gear closet, like a ton, but I wouldn't consider myself some kind of expert to where I could do like a scientific comparison between bags. But this little pull tab right here, I don't recall seeing this on a camera bag that I've personally used before in the past, and I really like it. So if your bag starts to sag, that sounded like the beginning of a commercial for some kind of testicle product, testicle rejuvenation cream. If it starts to hang too low on your lower back, you could actually just put your fingers right in here, pull this, and it'll pull the whole bag upward. It's pretty cool. Again, I've never seen that before. This bag was actually inside of this bag when I opened it up, and this basically took up like the whole lower half of the inside, and it holds a lot. I actually decided to go with the dividers, which come inside in case you want to take this out and use the dividers instead. There's extra dividers in there so you could build out your camera bag. Could probably fit about 4 or 5 lenses just in here, the way it's built out. There's also all these compartments in here that you could store stuff, and then the bag itself can extend even higher if you unzip it. See, it kind of pulls outward, which is cool. And this bag also does the same. This I'm gonna get around to using at some point. I haven't loaded it up with anything yet just because I had my camera bag built out with a whole lot of stuff for wedding season, and even though we're in January, I actually still have weddings to shoot. I have one this upcoming Saturday, last minute one, which is really great. Yeah. But once I get into like the dead of the winter, I'm probably gonna be incorporating this in there as well. And if not, this is just a great secondary small handheld piece that you could bring along with you. All right, now let's talk about what exactly is inside this camera bag. We'll start off with the cameras and the lenses. I pre-ordered the Sony FX3 immediately, like the second it was announced, and it's been my go-to camera ever since, and I love it. Still my favorite camera. I had the A7S III. I also have the Sony FX6 here, and still my choice every time I go to pick up a camera is always the FX3. It's what we're filming with today. I have a whole gear closet full of lenses that I swap in and out of my bag depending on what I'm shooting that day. But right now I have the Sony 20mm f1.8, which is pretty much a staple at this point. The 50mm f1.2, which might be my favorite lens that I've ever shot with, and the 35mm f1.4. But if I have some kind of real estate shoot that day, the 14mm f2.8 from Samyang makes its way into my bag for real estate properties. Other than that, this bag also has the Sony ZV-E10 in it as a secondary camera. And I also keep the Insta360 X3 in there, which is just a really fun camera to use. It's just, you can get really creative and get some interesting looking shots, so I like to keep it on me at all times. We also have a couple of mics inside of this bag, which have been my two go-to microphones for the most part over the last year or so. I never remember the model of the Sony microphone. I love the sound quality on this. It's a little higher on the high end, which I personally like because I have such a deep bassy voice. It actually complements my voice really nicely. And it's just great. I'm a Sony shooter and I like to take advantage of that multi-interface shoe, and this is just perfect. It's small, it's lightweight, it sounds great, and it's wireless. There's no wires connected from my microphone to my camera, so I love it. And the other microphone is the one that you've been listening to this entire video, which is the DJI wireless microphone system, which is just fantastic. I've used a ton of other wireless microphone systems, and some of them are pretty good, but none of them make me want to jump to use them as much as the DJI wireless mics do. This is great. Love this. Next up, let's talk about tripods. Right now, this is my favorite tripod on the market. This is the Ulanzi Zero Y travel tripod, which is carbon fiber. It's lightweight. It's easy to set up, and it's great quality. I think that it's the best bang for your buck as far as tripods go. It's super sturdy, super lightweight. It sets up to being as tall of a tripod as you probably would need. I'm 6'2", and this gets plenty high for me. And it's so lightweight that when I put this in the side pocket of my bag, I barely even notice the extra weight there. Before we go any further, I would like to give a quick shout out to today's sponsor, Artlist Max. Artlist has always been my go-to spot for royalty-free music and sound effects, but now they added more stuff with a new plan all under one roof, so you don't have to go anywhere else if you're any type of content creator or video editor or anything like that. So we have the best music and sound effects on the market, but now we have beautiful stock footage, actually useful plugins, some really nice templates. We have titles in there, some LUTs even, and there's even stuff to spice up your vertical videos, which is, you know, everything's vertical now. Also, you get access to Artlist's video editing platform called HitFilm. And the great part is it's all on one platform, all on one website, all under one roof. So you're not having to scour back and forth between different websites. You start to throw off your creativity. Sometimes when you pause for a second and you have to go online and download something that you need, like music or sound effects or something like that, it winds up stifling your creativity, and then you get back to your editor and then you're like, okay. But now when you mix Artlist's great search tools for their music and their sound effects with the new plugins, the templates, the titles, the LUTs, and so on and so forth, you can get to everything that you're looking for as fast as possible, get back to your editing, and waste zero time. I'll leave a link down below to Artlist if you want to start your free trial, and if you use the link in the description below, Artlist will add 2 free months onto your active subscription. Now we do have these 2 slots on the back piece here where I can fit both my MacBook Pro 14-inch and I have my iPad Air that I keep in the smaller slot, and they both fit back to back with plenty of room inside. It's not like stretching out the little pouches. Everything fits perfect in there. Now I know DJI comes out with new drones like 4 or 5 times a year at this point, and they're always great. But for me, the drone that I'm using most is still the trusty Air 2S. Love this drone, love the size, like the image quality, shoots D-Log, 10-bit. I've had this drone since it came out and I haven't had a reason to replace it. But something that has made this drone be an even better experience for me now are 2 things. Number 1, I upgraded my remote from the normal remote that you have to put your phone in to the smart controller, the same one that comes with the DJI Mini 3 Pro. And what a game changer it's been to not have to use my smartphone and connect it to my drone and then wait for everything. I just power it up. But I still had one problem when it came to this remote control, and that was that you still had to take time out of your life to screw in these little joysticks here. But my good friends, again, over at PGYTECH, bought this with my own money. It was only like 15 bucks or something like that. I'll leave links to everything here that I can possibly find in the description below. What a brilliant, Brilliant product. It's a hard shell covering that clamps on, and you're supposed to keep the joysticks on there. So now I haven't taken these joysticks off since I've had this, like 2 months now. Pop it on and off. The sticks stay on there. And when this is on there, it's a hard plastic. You can't like push these sticks to the side. So this entire setup with this case has actually made my experience with the Air 2S basically feel like I got a brand new drone. $300, $325 or something like that for the controller. And then another 15 or 16 bucks for the cover. Well worth it, 100%. If you have an Air 2S and you don't have this setup right here, go get you it. Go get it now. Next up is the Freewell Sherpa system for your iPhone, which is just great. Oftentimes, this is my kind of like on-the-go shooting device at this point because it takes really good quality video, and you have 3 different cameras plus the selfie camera. And then you have actual filters that magnetize on there. This is the VND. We also have some mist filter options and a few more. For me, this is as good as it gets right now for a smartphone shooter. This is the Zoom F3. This is, in my opinion, the best audio recorder you can get if you film any type of events, speeches, weddings, so on and so forth. This is a 32-bit float device. It's small, but it's solid. Like, you could probably knock somebody unconscious with this thing. It's really built well. It performs well. I've never had one single issue with it. And you definitely want to go with something that offers 32-bit float when you're shooting weddings or parties or anything that includes microphones, loud music, people talking, people yelling. When you work with anything less than 32-bit float, there's a good chance that your audio is going to be either recorded way too low because you want to play it safe and you don't want your audio to clip, or it's going to clip. So 32-bit float, you don't have to worry about any of that. You're good to go. Zoom F3 is a fantastic product, and this stays in my camera bag at all times. As far as ND filters go, I'm using 2 different sets as of right now. I have the original Peter McKinnon Polar Pro variable NDs on there. These are the non-mist filters. These are the first version. They still work absolutely great. And the other are the Freewell VND X Mist. These aren't the magnetized ones. These are actually the screw-on ones. The magnetized ones are great. They're easier to swap in and out, but when you're in a very busy professional type setting, I just don't want to take the chance of that filter bumping into something and then falling off and then cracking on the ground during an event that I'm shooting, and then I'm screwed. I can't use that filter anymore for the rest of the day. And the last item that I have in my bag before we get to like 2 or 3 things in my actual studio is this OmniCharge Power Hub. This is a 20,000 milliamp external battery. On the front, we have 2 18-watt USB-A ports. On the left, we have a 100-watt USB-C port. And on the right is a 60-watt USB-C port. Plus, it can act as a USB-C hub for your Mac or Windows computers to give it more ports to work with. And on top of that, you have wireless charging up top. I love this thing. Now let's take a look around my studio, and we'll take a look at like 2 or 3 things that I want to show you guys real quick that I think you might be interested in. This lighting setup right here is brand new. I actually just installed this 2 days ago. I was sick of having stands just all over my studio. Now I have one that's on wheels, and that's pretty much all I need. But for up here, this is a bracket that Neewer, I think it's pronounced Neewer. It's a stupid name. I'm sorry, Neewer, but it's dumb. And it's good, it's not great. So this, I wouldn't consider a heavy light. This is the Falconize, oh boy, RX24 TDX2. And this is a great light. I love it. I love that it's small, it's lightweight, and it's really thin, meaning you don't have to have a lot of space behind the light like you might with something like this. Look at all this. Look at all this. I mean, you gotta have at least 3 feet to spare in order to justify putting some kind of light like this in your studio. Whereas this, it's really thin. I mean, look how thin this is. It rotates, goes up and down, it does everything I need it to do. So for the purpose of this area right here, this Neewer bracket does the job. So if I bring this way and I loosen this up, this piece can go up and down, and it also turns side to side. Plus, if I really wanted to, I can extend this arm all the way out here. I don't want this much front weight leaning on this and my wall. It'll probably at some point wear its way down. But to cover this little area of this studio right here, I'm happy with it. I'm good with it. If you're careful and you have a fairly light light, this is a nice little pickup, and it was fairly inexpensive. I paid like 50 bucks. Once I started working with a sit-stand desk, it's like one of those things that once you get it, you can't really live without it. It's really great on the back, especially if you're editing for hours at a time. This particular sit-stand desk is by FlexiSpot, and I love it. It's on wheels, it rolls wherever I need to go around the whole studio. I love the cut of this tabletop right here, and I like the fact that it's all white. Huge fan of this desk. It actually rises really high. Like, I'm 6'2", and this is way higher than I need it to be. You could set your presets here. You have a USB port on the side. They have a ton of different style options, like a ton. Love this desk. Great job, FlexiSpot. And the last thing I want to show you guys here is this great light on wheels situation. The light that I'm working with is the WeLight Ninja 20. You have power control, temperature control. You actually have fan control. You could turn your fan completely off on this light, which is great. When it's on, it's not really that loud. And you also have some effects on here too, which you can kind of cycle through. It gets super bright. It's fairly inexpensive. It's a lot cheaper than some of its competitors are. As far as the stand goes, I don't really know the name brand of this stand. I got it on Amazon, but it's all metal design. It's pretty heavyweight, and it has wheels, and the wheels roll really smooth. So if you have a studio space or somewhere where you know that you want to be in different positions around a room and you need to kind of move your lighting around with you as you go, a setup like this is just really great. So that's it for my 2023 what's in my camera bag / what's in my camera. Let's light me up a little more. How you doing? What's in my camera bag / camera studio. Thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far to the end, you guys are amazing. Thank you, Artlist, for sponsoring today's video. You guys are also amazing as well. And I will see you guys in the next one. Make sure you subscribe, thumbs up, ring the bell, comment, all that good stuff. I'll see you guys later. Yeah!